Hey there, and happy Friday. So, I know what you're thinking. How could loving your ex make you a love magnet? I know. You're probably you're probably like she's really got over the top now. She's like, this whole Pollyanna love thing is too much. But I want to talk about it because I've learned a lot. I got married at 20 and I got separated 29 years ago. And that's a long time. So you think like, okay, you finally rid yourself of this situation, of this person, of this um, toxic or abusive or whatever you want to refer to it as situation. And it definitely was destructive. We were young. We had two children. I had a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old by the time we got separated. And it was not easy. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't easy. And for many years, I hated him. Uh, Not consistently all the time, but there was always that feeling that he could pull the rug out from under me. Or I used to describe it as just feeling like I was trying to climb out of a hole and he was hanging on my feet. So every time I would take a step forward, I felt like he was pulling me back, or I was getting caught up in this argument and needing to go to court, all the things, battling over everything, right? Especially when you have children. And as long as we're doing that, if we've separated from that person, and then we take that argument with us into our future, then we're still in. We might as well still be married, to be honest with you, because you're still in that contract doing the exact same thing, except you hate them more, and you're not getting any of the love benefits that you got before. But I didn't know how to get underneath that. So even when I was working with clients and I was bettering my life in so many ways, I've been passionate about the holistic approach for decades now, working with the mind, body, and spirit, fueling each part. But I didn't know how to get underneath this. I had so much resentment and there was such a level of blame. So it was because, and it kept showing up because I had that within me, it continued to show up. And I know you might not believe that that's true, that something that can be within us can keep showing up in our outer world, but I promise you it's true. And in my experience, I mean, I can give you so many experiences just to prove that. But anyway, it was about 15 years later. Now, again, there were times where we were more friendly than others, but it was about 15 years later that I was working with a group of clients, and I really was seeing a side of them that the world wasn't getting to see. And I was so passionate about what their struggles was, and I could see the little boy or girl inside, and I just wanted to protect them. I just wanted to be their advocate. I just wanted people to understand them. They felt so misunderstood. And all of a sudden it occurred to me that my ex, if I put him in that category and he were my client, I would be fighting for him just as strongly and I would get it. And then I think about like the things that I've learned from every person I've spent time with, every person that we can call a failed relationship because we're not with them now, doesn't mean it failed. I learned so much from every single relationship, especially the one with my ex-husband. I learned to find my voice. I've learned to find my power. I've learned to be a little more bold because he was so bold and so didn't care what people thought, and it often made me feel disempowered. But I learned to find that within myself as a result of the conflict that we had. So there's a lot of reason that we rub edges. We rub edges to soften one another and to crack off the pieces of ourselves that reveal the beauty underneath. So we do that in relationship. So each relationship that you're bumping up against is teaching you something about yourself. It's revealing that part of you that can be softened and polished and become beautiful. So now what I've learned and again, it's taken a long time, but one thing that I'm so committed to is my relationship with my ex-husband. I'm so committed to that relationship. And, I don't want to be back with him. I don't think we're a good match. But I realize the value, number one, of having somebody that knows me so well for decades. It's like a family member. Also, being able to co-parent, even though our children are adults, that doesn't stop. We have beautiful grandchildren that we get to share. We can bounce things off of each other when we're feeling a certain way about the parenting role, and it's beautiful and it's light. And the things that I hated about him for decades are the things that make me laugh now, because I got out from underneath it. And the way I did that was committing, not to him, to myself. I didn't commit to him or anyone else. I commit to myself that I am going to love every person that's been brought in front of me. And whether it's for a season, or it's a stepping stone, each person that I am intimate, meaning, deep conversation as well as maybe physically intimate. Any level of intimacy teaches me something. And there's something I learn about myself if I'm open to seeing it, and something I can take away from it, right? So even if it was painful even if it was a painful ending, I hug it and I love it, and I come back to the little girl inside of me that may feel abandoned within myself or may feel rejected within myself, and I plug into that love and I plug into that wholeness. But I can't give love, I can't attract love if I can't plug into that. If I can't find the wholeness within myself, then I can't attract it. And I attract love every single day. I really do. And it's in several different ways, whether it's a love interest attraction, or it's even love with my friends, or it's being loving to people in the grocery store or wherever I am. I attract it. I feel connection with people. I feel that heart connection every single day, especially when I set myself up to win and I remember these principles and I come back to my heart, and whatever I'm feeling disempowered, which happens, right? We're human. I go back to plugging in to that first, to that little girl first, and then whatever the situation is that made me feel a little guarded or a little invaded, I send that love. I send it love, and I'm thankful for that reminder to go back in to where the healing really begins within yourself. So you have to let go of the resentment with these exes if you want the love in your life. And that love includes your children, your family members, whether it's a love interest or whether it's just harmony in your relationships. That harmony has to be there. It has to be the energy, the other energy has to be released. That other heavier energy can't be blocking you, because that's what it does. It blocks you. Right? Yesterday I talked about resentment. We keep resending that energy and we keep blocking. It's stuck inside of us. So, in your heart, in your mind, love, 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 love. Find a way, because there's a reason you love them in the first place. There is a reason, and they are lovable, and it is not for them, but what we send out, we get back. They are a part of us. So what we send out, we get back. Send them love. And I 100% value my relationship with my ex-husband now. And I truly like to catch up and talk to him. So you consider that if you would like love in your life. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.